Let's go.
Turn them over till it's over.
My name's Callum Beardow and I'm a newly signed professional boxer. I've always thought about it ever since I started boxing, since I started competing. It's just been boyhood dreams, obviously. I've been a world champion, but then obviously when it comes to realisation, you start realising that maybe not everyone can be a world champion. You want to be like, you still want to be a professional boxer, you want to do as best as you can. And it's sort of like a boyhood dream really come true. Just when I first walked in the gym 13 years old, thinking, started competing, and I thought, you know what, I'd love to do this as my career. And now it's happening, and so anything from now it's just a bonus really. I think as it's gone on, every year I've got better and better. Last year I reached the finals of the senior ABAs. So the year before I reached the semi-finals, so I did one better. 2017 I won an English cruiserweight title. I then held that, defended that once. Boxing gave me everything. I was just a fat kid, pretty much, simple as. Always a good kid. I was pretty good at every sport. I mean, you get them kids at school who like can always play a sport, and I was average at every sport. Like I could always play. Nothing I couldn't do. I just went fit. I was just really fat.
I'm Brendan Warburton, head coach at Sheffield City Amateur Boxing Club, now Cal's professional trainer. Been about 10 years ago. Come in, wanted to train, never done any boxing before, overweight kid, couldn't look you in the eyes. You know, first thing with him was to shift a lump of weight really. He kept turning up week by week, learnt to speak to his coaches, learnt to speak to other people, and just developed, grew as a person and grew as a boxer at the same time.
Just signed a 2-year contract with managerial contract with Dave Caldwell. I know a few lads who come with him who train through boxing science. Dave's good with manager, a bit my coach Brendan from staying with him. Done it since day dot. So I've been with him, what, 9-10 years now. And I think a lot of part about boxing, any sport, is that you trust. A lot of trust, I've major trust for Brendan, loads of respect, and he knows how I work, what gets me going, what to say to me before a fight, what to get me going when I'm feeling not that good during training, or if I'm having a good day, he knows the ins and outs.
You know, he's a well-rounded kid for starters. His feet are on the ground, very hard worker, most importantly, very good listener. He listens, works hard, puts it in. Yeah, he's got a desire, and he's got that little bit of something, I think. He's a national champion. You know, national champions always got something a little bit special, and same for Cal. There's no flash about him or anything like that. He's a grounded kid. He's value for money. He's an exciting boxer to watch with a good style. It's going to please a lot of people, and yeah, all being well, he's got a big future.
Callum has been there at the very start of when I've started working in boxing. I was strength and conditioning coach, intern, football and rugby clubs. I just started training this student boxer in the gym that was affiliated with Sheffield City ABC, and I went into the gym and I could hear some thudding on the pads, and I'm thinking, who's that? That's got to be like a big heavyweight. And I went in and it's Callum, looking like a pit bull, absolutely smashing the pads, and I'm thinking this kid is an absolute animal. When he first started, what was really apparent is a really strong athlete, but not particularly blessed in his movement and everything like that, because really how we got into boxing was because he was a little bit overweight and he needed to lose that weight and keep fit. So we've got 5 years down the road now, and it's been one hell of a journey. Obviously because of his injuries, his shoulder surgeries, these played a massive factor in his development.
Keep it solid, tuck up your knees if you need to.
Spar, I think I threw a shot, my left hook, and next thing you know, thought that like a clunk in my shoulder. And then from then on, I just kept trying to train through it, and after a few days after a spar, my arm would be really sore, couldn't really lift it. Sometimes it'd be worse than others, trying to come out of a spar, and for about a year, I on and off way, just couldn't compete because every time I spar my shoulder, I'm immobile, I literally couldn't do anything. I can remember being at college and not being able to move my arm, I just couldn't even write, I'd have to have days off. So I got my shoulder through there to Claremont Hospital. Straight away they said, look, you need to have surgery. After a year of waiting and training and being going to doctors and saying, oh, you need this and physios, yeah, you need to have a surgery.
Found out a lot about Callum through that time, and I had to support him in many different ways, and had to be imaginative about his programming, thinking about what he can do, what he can't do, how to get that shoulder back right again, so when he gets back into the ring, back into training, he's ready to go straight away. And it was very pleasing, to see him back on top, especially like last season. Now he's got the English title belt. That night was fantastic, and seeing how much it meant to him and to Brendan, his head coach, and to his family as well. After all that hard work, everything paid off that night.
Explode. Yeah, nice.
I'd never been in the shape that I am. I have been for the last, every time I've come to box, if it weren't for Dan and we're working in boxing science, doing all the strength training. It's not just strength training, it's the stuff of the runs and the conditioning. And even all down to the little things, just before the fight's out, your training changes, whereas before boxing, you just ham yourself, and maybe till a week before, and, all right, you get a bit of a time off now, and then you have a bout. Whereas not, it's all structured. We've got a plan. There's something set. I know what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 weeks, and then the next 4 weeks, and then before a fight, I know it's going to go. But in terms of my fitness, it's the best shape I've ever been in. Hitting harder, I'm faster.
The way that Callum excels is a really, really strong athlete compared to the rest of the boxers. He'll be able to deadlift the most, squat the most, more or less bench press the most as well. So when we're working maximal strength, I know that he's going to be determined to lift the highest weight possible. When we're working on strength speed, he's going to be lifting the bar as fast as possible. When he's on the curve and having to 30-second maximum sprints, you won't see anybody in like a state like Callum after them sprints. Every time he's on the floor, absolutely blowing, can't feel his legs. He'll do anything to win and keep going.
Luckily I've got someone like Brendan who's open to say that he knows that he knows the boxing side, but he's not going to be the best nutritionist, he might not be the best strength conditioning coach, even though he's the best for my boxing, and lets the roles take part, so he's not just taking over everything. Got assistant boxing coach Tommy Monday, Lee Rickards, nutritionist, been with him for the last 2 or 3 years now, been the best I've had so far, got me in some of the best shape. Danny Wilson down at Boxing Science, and Alan Ruddock. I'm in the best shape I've been. I need to just take every fight as it comes, so whether it's building myself up, getting to maybe around 10 fights, probably going for around something like an English title, or before that maybe a Central Area, English title, British, then obviously as it goes on, European, Commonwealth, and then World. Well, I'm too short really to not have a good style, to not have an entertaining style. So I'm too short. I don't think I've ever boxed somebody smaller than me or same height, so I can't be on back foot, even though I can do when it comes to it. Maybe when I'm down at super middle we might find someone shorter, but I've got to come forward, I've got to make the fight, I've got to push.
I want him to go as far as possible as he wants to go. He's got a great team behind him. I've been waiting for a long time, he knows he can trust me. He's got yourself at Boxing Science, second to none, looking after his strength and conditioning. Dave Colwell's on board, who was a fantastic manager. So yeah, everything's set up for him. But again, feet on the ground, take fight by fight, and we see where he goes.
You can't get through stuff like this then. When it gets hard, winning a fight or a spar, and something goes wrong for you, so you've got a disadvantage, you can't just go, well, I'll come back tomorrow and do it. You've got to get on with it.